Hello to everyone. We may start. We will go through the different activities we expect you will take care of in the preparation of next deliverable during the prototyping phases. Please do not hesitate to ask for any question during the presentation. So, first of all, the slides are the same you have already seen when we presented on the beginning of December the feasibility. You need now that you have your concept clear to transform it in a work plan. That means in activity to do. So you have to set the objective you think to reach within the 6-month time span, that they need to be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, and then need to take care of the result now, but also in the next future. You have also to take care of the different line you have in the project. That means the technical scope and the creative scope, and the possibility to join them. Together with the work plan, you will have to start drafting what is called the data management plan. Why? Because in all your project, or in most of your project, there is the need to deal with data. And when we have to deal with data, we need to describe how we will do that. So these are the key information we will be asking you. Some information may be available also now, so at the beginning of the prototyping phases. Some other will come available later. First of all, you need to know which data you will be used. So which data they will be, how they will be formatted, where they will come from, and how many there will be. This is a normal description of data in a data management plan. Then you have to elaborate about the way you will go to store your data and how you will deal with the possibility of data security breach, and so how you will protect your data. Second part of the data management plan is to know who will be the persons or the institution or the team able to access your data. You need to say who will be the one involved in data sharing and for how long you will keep the data. Then you have to guarantee that you follow all the requirements by GDPR mainly. That means to anonymize data or encrypt data if you have personal information, and anyway to take care of any ethical consideration. When you develop a data management plan, you need also to select a responsible for the data management. And this name needed to be put in your data management plan. Okay, it seems a lot of information.
Oh,
In my opinion, it's important that you start by understanding which are the different aspects of data management you have to take into due consideration while developing your prototype. The second important part of the deliverable 3 and of the work of your next month probably is the work plan. Because now you have a concept, you have started to think about feasibility, and you need to decide what you will be able to do within June. Again, you don't need to put in the work plan result you think you will not be able to reach in 6 months. You have to be very, very concrete, very, very realistic. So normally on a short period of time, like 6 months, you may define 3 or 4 main work packages. That is main portion of work. I talk about a work package now. Later, Elena probably will talk about epics, because epics is the way agile called work package, but the content is the same. That means a clear portion of work with a specific objective that may be still split in a small part, so the iteration you will see later on. And for each of these work package, you need to define a responsible, and you need to identify who will participate. Again, it's very difficult to be able to synchronize the creative and the technical work. So when you define the work package, keep in mind to say since the beginning if they are only technical, only artistic, or a collaboration one. Once defined the activity, you need also to define who will do what. So to have for each task a responsible, because in such a way you will be able to manage the work, both on the technical team side, because most of the technical work, the development, the testing, the data collection and analysis will be performed by the technical team. But for sure, all this activity needed to be inspired by the artist. So clearly identify responsibility. And create your own timeline. Again, keep always in mind the time frame you have available, so 6 months. And in our opinion, you may spend January, maybe the first month, to clearly detail all the activity. Then you may prototype your system starting from February up to May. And in an agile perspective, each small piece of work you prototype, you develop, you immediately start testing it in such a way to have a continuous iterative working. In this work, keep in mind also that you will have a mid-term assessment. At the beginning of April, we will have a meeting to assess how the prototyping is proceeding according to the initial work plan. So also in defining the different tasks, the different work package, keep in mind to get some preliminary result in the middle of your work. Now I will leave the floor to Elena and Laura that will describe in more detail how we think to develop in iteration. That means how the loop, planning, running, and review pieces of work is to run. I don't know if you have a question now or if we can go on, and the floor is to Elena.
Thank you. If there are no questions, I can move on. Please, Maria, can you move on? Thank you. So again, why break down the project? Because it will help you to organize better the work into manageable parts. It will help to clarify goals and priorities, and also to facilitate collaboration between the artistic and the technical part. Moreover, it will help to track in a more efficient way the progress that you are making in order to achieve your goal. To do so, we suggest an approach that is an agile approach. So to start with the big goals, that are the work packages that Maria already said, that are called epics in an agile framework, and to break them into smaller executable items that from now on will be called tasks. You can think to a task as an actual brick that allow you to build a wall. At the end of the work plan, you should already define all the tasks that you will be achieved, but you will see that the task will be defined better at the beginning of each iteration during the planning meeting. Please, Maria, move on. So a task is actually a specific and executable piece of work that allow you to go from the big idea, that is the concept, the prototype you want to build, to executable steps. They are created together. There is alignment. There should be alignment between the artistic and the technical part, and alignment in the general concept, ensuring that you are in the same phase of the development. And moreover, very important, you should create tasks in such a way that they are achievable in the 2 weeks iteration. And in order to make them with an outcome that provide a clear progress for the work you are doing. To summarize, we can say that the key features of a good task are that they must have a clear objective, so the task must have a specific purpose or outcome for the prototype you want to achieve. Must be time bound, so must be created in such a way that be completable within the iteration, so the 15 days or 2 weeks. And moreover, they should have detailed requirements, where the requirements are the rules, the steps that must be achieved in order to consider the task complete. So they have to define what's needed to be done and align the team goals. Please, Maria, one. So, as Maria already said, this prototyping phase will begin with the planning phase, with the planning meeting at the beginning of the 2 week iteration. This meeting can be done online or in person as you want. During this meeting, you will actually define which task will be completed in the next 2 weeks. You will ensure that there is alignment between the creative and the technical goals for the task of the 2 weeks. And you can also use this meeting to be sure that there is an open channel for communication and collaboration between the creative and the technical part. And also to be sure that there is a way to track the progresses you will do during the weeks. To achieve this, we have created a creative checklist. This is a summary of questions that allow you to think if you have thought to some aspect of the planning in general. The idea is that this checklist will be ticked at each meeting and shared and uploaded in your shared folder in order to make it a sort of summary of your work to track your progress. Please, Maria, move on. This checklist contains questions for the artist, for the technicians, and for the join part, we can say. For the artist, we will ask you to, with the question in the checklist, if you are sure that the task you have created for the 2 week iteration are aligned with the project vision and product concept, if you have identified achievable tasks that fit within the iteration timeframe, and also if you thought to the social, cultural, and ethical aspect of the design. For the technician, we will ask you with the checklist again, if you have defined tasks that support the creative vision and the project goals, if you establish the requirements and constraints for the task, and also if you have already thought to a way to test the task and measure them to be considered complete. There is also a part for the collaborative action, in which we ask you if you have planned how to work together to ensure, again, that each task integrates both artistic and technical needs. Also to hold discussion, to clarify objective, refine task, and solve challenges if you already see them in such a way. And in general, so to communicate openly and make decisions together. After the planning meeting, you will start to develop for the 2 week iteration. At the end, you will have a review meeting, a review phase. For this part, I let the speech to Laura.
Thank you. So yeah, indeed, the review phase is like the end of this 2 weeks iteration and consists mainly of a review meeting. The reason to have these review meetings is that they can help you to evaluate if the tasks have been properly completed and if the tasks align with the general concept and the epics that you defined, and also investigate reasons if some tasks were incompleted and define and create a mitigation strategy for the incompleteness. And these review meetings should be, as I was saying, performed at the end of the 2 weeks iteration, and once every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks they should be performed between the artist and the company, and once every 2 meetings, so once every 4 weeks, also the mentors should join the artist and the company. So both tech mentor and art mentors should join the meeting to give feedback and make sure that the project is proceeding well, the work is going well. And this meeting should be held online or in present as you prefer. And also for these meetings, we have created a creative checklist similar to the ones for the planning phase that you should use to guide the discussion during the meetings, and you should use it to track the progress. And as the other one, you should tick it and upload it to the folder at every review meeting. And also it's important that you can prepare some demo materials, so mock-ups or videos, especially for the review meetings with the mentors, so that you can better show that your work is proceeding and indeed what you are doing. Next slide. So for the first part, so it's important that in this review meeting you verify that the tasks have been completed. And here I put some guidelines for verifying this task. And they are related to 4 areas, so performance, concept alignment, quality, and timeline and efficiency. Everything that is in this slide actually is also in the checklist, so don't worry, you will have all the material. And for what concerns performance, you should make sure that all the functionalities that you have developed are actually tested and meet the requirements that you set in the planning phase, and also that they meet technical objective and performance metrics that also you have defined at the beginning of the iteration. And it's important that everything that you develop, or every functionality, is actually documented, very well documented, and is accessible to everyone to see. Also, for what concerns the concept alignment, you should make sure that your outcomes, so what comes out from the iteration, is in line with your general concept, and especially with the work plan or epic that you are where the iteration is in. And also here it's important, if there are any misalignments or adjustments that need to be done, it's important that you address them and you document that. For what concerns quality, indeed, instead, it's important that for every functionality you conduct either peer or code reviews or both to check that the technical outputs are fine. And also you should make sure to have